What's going on, people? Welcome back to another JSTV. Back again. It's the live match preview game between Newcastle against Wolves at St James's Park. 3 o'clock kickoff tomorrow. I've got Philip, my guy, on my channel as well. He loves Dominic Solanke. He still want to get Solanke in, by the way. How you doing, Phil? You good?
I'm very well. I'm very well. Always a privilege to be here. Good to meet you, Dan, as well.
Yeah, nice to meet you, boys. Nice to meet you.
Ready to talk some football with you guys.
Fantastic. And we've got a Wolves fan as well, and he seems a top lad. He's going to be a future YouTuber. I hope he is. We got to Dan, Wolves fan. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, all good, mate. Yeah, not bad. Yeah, off a win, so buzzing at the moment, but we'll see. We'll see tomorrow.
Fantastic. That's what I like. That's what I like. So, guys, if you like the video, if you like what you watch, make sure you hit the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel as well, to JSTV, Johnson Care TV. And if you like to super chat is open, and just click what the channel's worth. And if you'd like to become a member, it is just 99p. So, yeah, just a quick as well. Also, I did a vlog for the Arsenal vlog last Saturday. I don't know if you saw it, Phil. 35,000 views, 150 new subscribers as well. So, yeah.
Wow.
Nice well one, done.
Nice work. Nice work.
And that is absolutely fantastic. Not bad for a away game as well. So I'm over the moon with that as well. Right, let's go on to the before we talk about the press conference as well. Just got a bit of breaking news. I believe Andy Howe is believed to be the new head of recruitment. Phil, I don't know what you make of it. Is that a good move for him? Because for me personally, I'd rather get a sporting director sort of thing. What do you think? Or I've seen tweets on there saying job for the lads.
Well, it's multi-layered answer, isn't it? I think in terms of a sporting director, that will come. That'll be an important move. That will come eventually. In terms of jobs for the lads, it depends. It's only job for I can see where it's coming from, but I think the meaning comes from if you're only employing people from people that you know or friends that you know, and they're no good, they're not competent. Do you know what I mean? I don't know how good Andy Howe is. I know obviously I don't know which deal who's involved in. I hear rumors that he was really kind of involved heavily into the Tanani deal. So that might be why obviously they've upgraded him. I think it might be also a sign that Steve Nixon might be going as well. So I can see where people are coming from in terms of jobs for the lads. But if this particular lad is very, very good at spotting the right talent, then I don't mind. And obviously, at the end of the day, also Eddie Howe seems to be trusting him. So we'll see where it goes. But I think the last thing I'll say about it is that you obviously mentioned the sporting director, and it seems like whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, I'd be interested to know what maybe even Dan and you, John, think that is that. Yes, he's got somebody that's close to him in terms of not only Jason Tyndall as assistant manager, Andy Howe, his nephew, is the assistant recruiter, obviously as recruiter as well. And now are the owners also going to have to get a sporting director that's also going to fit around Eddie Howe's vision? Whether that's a good thing or not we'll wait to see. I always think that no matter who they employ, whoever it is, there has to be a healthy tension between them in terms of getting the right person. Like the same they had with Michael Edwards and Jurgen Klopp. Jurgen Klopp wanted other players. Michael Edwards said, this Mo Salah guy who plays for Roma is really, really good. And they eventually said, all right, fine, I'll go for him. And then that's what happened. So I think as long as there's that healthy tension and it's not just, oh, I'm just employing people that see only what I see and say yes to that, then cool. But if it's not, then we might be in trouble. But I think it also shows that the owners have a lot of faith in Eddie Howe and in the team as well. And we'll see. We'll wait to see if it gets repaid or not.
Facts, absolutely facts. Fingers crossed in that. You've got to see what he does as well. He can't be any worse than Dan Ashworth, to be fair. But at the end of the day, right? I mean, you've got to get someone in sooner rather than later. So big up to you. Let's go for the comments. We go on to Tan and Dan. Evening to Alan. I hope you're great. And Kieran, thank you so much for coming to the latest member, mate. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much indeed for that one. I appreciate that. And I'll be doing the future competition very, very soon. And hopefully we try to give a prize away as well. I should look into that one as well. And how give him a shot can not be any worse than Ashworth. Exactly what I said, Alan. Thank you, man. And big up to Arthur B as well. How the everyone
different positions though. You said this can't be worse than Dan Ashworth is a sporting director. He's not like a scout or a recruiter. That's what Andy Howe is. Andy Howe is like a scout, a recruiter, technical director. So it's totally different positions.
Yeah, totally agree, man. You're absolutely right. We'll see how you do. Let's go on to Dan, big Wolves fan. Welcome to JSTV. And before we talk about you, tell who you are, how long you've been supporting the Wolves for, and tell a little bit about yourself, mate.
Been supporting Wolves all my life, mate. 33 now, but I remember going to Molineux way back when we were in the depths of football, basically. And then seeing us, been promoted several times, and we were always a bit of a yo-yo club, to be fair. But just of late, we've stuck in there, and yeah, man, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it while it lasts. We're fickle fans, aren't we? We're happy when we're winning and we're depressed when we're losing. So at the moment, I'm pretty happy with how everything's going, and just buzzing to be a Wolves fan at the moment, because everyone had us to get relegated. Everyone did. All the media had us to go down, and I think we're doing pretty well, to be honest, with a new manager like Gary O'Neill and stuff.
Yeah,
I've heard that as well, and a lot of people believed it as well, and I kind of believe it as well because of Gary O'Neill. But what he's done for that football club, he's done absolutely amazing. He really has. He galvanised the players as well, playing some cracking football, beating some fantastic teams like Tottenham away, right, and nearly beat Man United away from home. They were a much better team. Do you know what I mean? And they drew with us, of course. But I tell you what, Wolves are fantastic. They really, really are. And the fans love them as well. So let's go into the quickly press conference as well. Quickly, I mean, go back to you, Phil. Eddie Howe has come out and he spoke about Sven Botman, saying that he's looking good and he could get a place tomorrow.
He did say that. He also said that Sven Botman's on individualized training, whatever that means. That kind of sounds like, when you take a student out of a classroom and he has to go into the naughty boy center. That's what that kind of reminded me of when he said that. Obviously, he wasn't at the game for Blackburn, wasn't even on the bench at all. And I know obviously Howe pointed out in terms of him being able to, Sven Botman, that is obviously recovering from that knee injury, and that obviously he did go back a lot more sooner than later, and he hasn't quite been the same. So this probably taking him out the line of fire. Whether he's back for the Wolves game will be interesting or not. I think he probably will be on the bench, which is not a bad thing. Our bench is looking a lot more healthier nowadays. But yeah, Botman probably needed that, a little bit of time away from the pitch, possibly. Let's see if he's back. Let's see if he's back in the first team against Wolves.
Nah, he can stay, mate. It's all right. He's a big lad, man.
He's massive. He is. Yeah.
we were linked with him at one point. We were linked with him for quite a while.
I really like. Sorry, go on.
Always wanted him. Sorry, always wanted him in because I think he's a quality player. And he offers you a lot. Just he's just that solid bloke at the back, that does all the dirty work, and
he does.
You guys' recruitment has been. I really like the way Wolves recruit players. I know that there seems to be a heavy focus on Portuguese players or players from Portugal or whatnot, and it's kind of still continued on. But you got some, but even like British-based players. Is it Killingham?
Kilman.
Kilman, that's it. Fantastic defender. Like you guys got really, really good recruitment. Like everyone's salivating over Neto, and even got Cunha playing, scoring goals. So
well, he's injured at the moment for you.
Oh, I'm not going to say thank goodness. I'm not going to say that for Angels, but it helps. It helps. I'll say it helps. It helps.
Yeah. But yeah, I think you're spot on with our recruitment. To be fair, we heavily relied on George Mendes, the famous Portuguese agent, for a very, very long time. Luckily, we've stopped doing that just recently, and we're looking more at good players that are cheap, but can offer you a lot in the dressing room, or can offer you a lot in areas where you need it. Do you know what I mean? Like we've spent massive on players and have got nowhere. Like you look at Fabio Silva was 35 million for an 18-year-old who's done nothing for us, and then we've picked up players for like 15 million, 5 million, you know, and they've proved better. So yeah, I think you're spot on. Recruitment's been really good. But it's just FFP at the moment that's slowed us down. We had to sell a lot of players in the summer.
Absolutely killed us, didn't it? Absolutely killed us big time. But we could talk about it all day about FFP. I'll probably rip it apart, so can Phil, so could Dan as well. I've got an Instagram message as well. If you're an Instagram user, then leave a comment in there as well. I'll try and read it out as well. For Gasboy 1892, what would be the realistic finishing place in the league for, in your guys' opinion? I think Champions League spot's gone. I think Europa League would be our best bet. You know what it is, guys? We got to go on a mad run even to get to Europa League. But we're not going to give up our dreams. We're not going to give up our hopes. But at the end of the day, we will give it a shot. We give it an absolute shot. So still plenty of games to go. We give it a great shot. Let's go on to Keywan Fox. We got the Keywan. Please do follow him on social media. He's a great guy, and thank you for your kind donation. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much indeed for that. Do follow him on Twitter as well. Big up the Keywan Fox. Newcastle 1-0. Jim Smith was the manager. I think Kevin Scott was the scorer. He was indeed. Newcastle wants top 6-7. We all do. Yeah, that's still a chance. And another donation as well. Big up. Happy birthday to you, my guy. And I don't hold you up, but let's hope you have a fantastic time and party as well and boogie as well. Thank you so much for your kind donation twice over as well. Big up. Let's go to Dan. I mean, Eddie Howe speaking about Wolves, and he said they will bring a counter-attacking threat. They play a fluid style. Gary has done a brilliant job. They are very good away from home. Dangerous opponents for us, but we are confident going into their game. That's kind word from Eddie Howe. And what's your take on that?
To be fair, it's going to be interesting, isn't it? Two really good English managers up against one another, you know. And you look at the table now as well. It's a bigger game than we probably anticipated at the start of the season, isn't it? Especially us. We thought we'd be like battling with the likes of Luton and stuff, and now we're like battling with the likes of Brighton and you guys. So for me, I'm just happy where we are at the moment. I really am. Pushing for Europe is amazing. You know, we're currently in the FA Cup run as well. So, but yeah, to answer your question with what he's saying, I think that he's correct. We're a very good team if we just sit back, you know, make it hard for you, and then hit on the counter with speedy players like Neto and stuff. Like, it is one of our game plans. But what I like about Gary O'Neill is he adapts to each game. So I wouldn't just say we'll just do one thing and that's what you've got to look for. You know what I mean? We've proven we're good at winning the ball up high as well. We've got some very strong midfielders that will make it really awkward, like Joe Gomez and stuff like that will just really just dig a tackle in and win the ball up high, and on the transition just make it a bit awkward for players and stuff. And so there's more to our game than just counter attacking, but that is one of our sort of major things, especially away. You saw that at Chelsea. You saw that also against Spurs as well, you know.
Fantastic. We go through the comments as well. We come on what Eddie Howe has been saying about him. I mean, Julian Nagels, we'll talk about him in a bit before we go on to the injury news as well. Keep those comments coming through. Like and subscribe. Also, smash the likes as well on the latest log I've done last week, and also the Blackburn game too. Let's go on to Arthur. Newcastle needs to improve, probably at least 75% better than the Blackburn game. Do you know what, Arthur? I went to that game on Tuesday. We were absolutely pony. I can't lie. Wolves should have picked up more points, but VAR put the block on that early in the season. So for me, Wolves are a decent side, not to be taken lightly. Well said, Alan. Well said. Yeah. And you have to respect all opponents. But if we want European football, we have to go on a mad run. Start from tomorrow. through this game usually ends 1 each. Do you know what? If you win this game tomorrow, I'll be over the flipping moon off. And let's be real, their rules are a tough side to beat. And big up to John T, big Blackburn fan. And John, thanks for coming on my show the other day. Really appreciate that. Communications as well, mate. Of course you are. This channel is for everyone. It's not just Newcastle fans. It's for everybody. Doesn't matter where you support, where you're from. You can support Torquay United. You can support Elgin City. You're still welcome to my channel as always. Let's go on to the Insta messages as well. Not just yet. Let's go on to a quick one about Craig Hope. Asked Eddie the question, and he said on his tweet about Eddie Howe's future for the club, trying to get a league manager. And Eddie said, "My future will be defined by what I do, no one else." Eddie Howe hits back at Julian Nagelsmann, LAFC links. I back myself and my ability. And that's what Eddie said. And you know what? He's quite defiant there, and he's really defiant. And you know what? I'm Eddie in all day long, 100%. I do not want Eddie sacked. But my opinion on this, only my opinion, I think he'll be given another season anyway. I want him here for as long as I want, but I think Pierre might be thinking differently because he's been unlucky this season.
I mean, from a Newcastle perspective, I think I don't really. Whoever's the players, whoever's the manager, the main thing is Newcastle United dominating the league and winning Champions Leagues at some point. So I don't mind if it's Eddie Howe. I don't care if it's Gary O'Neill. As long as somebody else that does it, someone that's there that does it. That's all I care about. So that's my first perspective in terms of whether it's Eddie in or Eddie out. And I know it's interesting. Obviously, the Gary O'Neill situation has only come up now that we're obviously in a slightly low period, well, in a low period in terms of confidence. And now, obviously, the rumors around Julian Nagelsmann and others have just started. He's a great manager. I did do a little bit of research on him, and as well in terms of what the Bayern Munich fans thought of him. And obviously, he got sacked there. But the feeling is that they wish that he hadn't got sacked and that he got a bit more time, which is interesting. I still think that Eddie Howe is doing a good job. I think the last 12 games of the season, the FA Cup run, which is hopefully, I don't know if we'll continue it, will tell us a lot. I think it's important. It's very, very important that he gets into Europe. I don't think the owners are just going to give him another season because of the previous 18 months. Because look how competitive the league is. I mean, Dan's just said, he was expecting to be a relegation fight. He's now was in a ninth position and well worth the value of ninth position. You've got Brighton, you've got Aston Villa. None of them are going to stop and say, let's just see how Eddie Howe does at Newcastle next season. And so long as Newcastle get into Europe, I think that's the main target. And I think deep down, Eddie knows that. It probably does give him at least more time. So let's see how that goes.
Yeah. That's a fact. That's a fact. And you said the right thing there because I want Eddie Howe to be here as long as I can. Yes, we've been missing Joe Linton. We're missing some Nick Pope as well. We've got 2 players out now. Let's hope they come back ASAP with George to be out for the end of the season. Eddie's linked to West Ham and Chelsea, also mentioned for Liverpool in the papers. Well, excuse me. I don't think that's going to happen after me, but it depends what you believe in these days. I mean, it's all rumours as well. I can remember 20 years ago, when you link to a player, everyone believes it and it happens. And Lloyd said no. And yeah, we did well. I was disappointed with the result, but not gutted. Got league issues to contend with. We go again tomorrow in Swansea, and I've just arrived at my hotel. I hope you have a fantastic time, John, against Swansea. Tough game, but I hope you get the 3 points as well. Blackburn are a terrific club with fantastic funds as well. Eddie in. But Big Joe is a must. Newcastle need to sort it out ASAP. That's going to be the first thing that should happen in the summer, Neil. Big Joe signed a 2 extension on News Now Newcastle's site. I don't think he has somehow. If he just tell us where that link is.
If that's happened, that's really good news.
That's if it happens, but I don't think it's happened yet. Excuse me. Big up to Jackie, by the way, from St. Helens. Good evening about tomorrow. As Eddie said, he has a section problem at the back and the mid. Plus impact subs. Can't remember the last time this happened. Games lost because of crap bench. You know what, Jackie? I totally agree. And Jackie's a positive fan who comes to my channel as well. And you know what it is, right? I mean, I'll come back at you, Phil, right? I mean, Jack just said there, we haven't got a strong bench. That means in the summer, we have got to buy, you've got to beef up the squad bench, the squad depth. That's what we need because we got ourselves caught short in the summer.
I don't think we did get caught short. In terms of a strong bench, obviously, is subjective. I think we have a decent bench even now. It's the injuries that really got us. But at this current moment in time, our bench. So, for instance, when we're going to the Wolves game, we could have Barnes on the bench, Willock on the bench, Livramento on the bench, Elliot Anderson on the bench, Sven Botman on the bench, and a couple of others. So it's not a bad look to have those guys. I'm sure Dan will probably take a couple of those guys on his bench. It's not too bad a bench. And in terms of the summer, I think the main, for me, when I first judged the transfer window, and if anybody did take time to look at it, we had a player for every position. Now the drop off is different in terms of in some of the positions, particularly right centre back. We could have done with another CM, like a Onana type destructive midfielder, but I think we got Lewis instead. I think the main mistake that we made is probably, at the moment, I say mistake, but we don't know really, is probably Lewis Hall. I really want to be proven wrong on that. I don't think it was our summer transfer window. I mean, for most of the season, we've had 10 plus players out. Like, that's no joking. We lead. If there's ever a league that we lead, it's the injury table league. Ask Chelsea and Man United. You know, when you've got 14 players out and you've got a 17-year-old, no matter how talented he is, I think it's going to be generational, I believe. But no matter how talented you are, it's going to be very, very difficult to compete in the way that you want to. So I think we had a decent transfer window. Could it have been better? Yes. In going into this Wolves game, I think we've got a decent bench. And I think Hal knows there isn't excuse if we get done over by Wolves, God forbid, there isn't much excuse for that. So that's what I think in terms of where our squad is at the moment.
Yeah, totally agree, man. Totally agree. We just got to do our best tomorrow as well and defend properly. And my only concern is as well as the defence and the midfield. There's a big gap between the midfield and the defence, and that needs to be communicated a bit more as well. But we'll find out tomorrow where Eddie sorts that out as well. Let's go on to Tom. I'm looking at injuries as well. You listen, Matthias Cunha, he's going to be out with a hamstring. Also, Han Hee Chang, also out as well with a hamstring problem as well. That's two of your big players out already. That is absolutely a massive blow because those two are quality with Pedro Neto as well. And you know what? João Gomez looks a good player as well, but I expect to play on Saturday. But for me, I mean, missing Chan and missing Korea, that is not good news for this, mate.
Yeah, it was a weird one. We played a really weird system in the FA Cup. We played a front two with I think it was Bellegarde and Hwang Hee-chan, and then he went off injured. And we went back to a front three, and it was awkward. We didn't really look like we was going to score a goal. Really, I think Sarabia is a decent player. I don't know if you've seen him around. Pablo Sarabia. Yeah, he's good.
Yeah,
he's technically quite good, so he'll pick a good pass out and stuff. So that's probably a player to watch, really, because I think that if he picks a good pass out on the transition, and Neto gets like through your defense or whatever, like there ain't going to be many players that can catch with Neto because he's fast blow. But in terms of injuries, we've to be honest, we haven't actually done too bad really. Pedro Neto was out for ages and he came back.
That was on our game. He got injured in our game in our first when we drew 2-2.
Yeah,
I remember that. He was about to pull the trigger. He was in on goal. He was about to pull the trigger. And just got that hamstring.
Dude, I was there for that. I saw him go off. I was like, that's it.
I was there as well.
Yeah. We, like I say, like I don't think we've been too bad for injuries considering how small our squad is. We've got a really small squad. Like we've got one more striker on the bench at the moment, and he's like 80. So he's just turned 19. Wolves Academy player. So that just goes to show just how, how threadbare our squad is. So a few injuries, and I think we'll be in some trouble. But touch wood, at the moment, it's only the one or two. And what I've liked about Wolves is if a player has gone out injured, someone else has stepped up. Do you know what I mean? So if a player went off, with a red card or something, there's always a player that comes in, and I think that's a credit to Gary O'Neill, really, to be fair, because he distills so much confidence in these young players, or a player that hasn't had many minutes, and so I don't think I'm too concerned about injuries even for this game, because I feel like there's enough quality in the team to do something good away. Do you know what I mean? At home's a different story for us, but away at the moment we tend to let a team play in front of us and then transition, quickly. So we've got enough players to be able to do that.
Yeah, totally agree. Got one from Toon Army Halifax in the Insta chats. Wolves are at the bottom of the EPL league injuries table. Newcastle are top of the shots as well. And that ain't good as well. Thank you for that, Toon Army Halifax as well. And I hope you're having a good day. Just go on to another comment as well. Will Wolves keep Neto at the end of the season?
No, we won't keep Neto. So no, not. It's very similar to Neves, wasn't it? Because I think we hung on to him a lot longer than we should have done, really. I mean, I love Neves, but he was at the squad far too long. He was in the squad far too long for us. He could have gone any time, really. I thought he was actually going to go to you guys, to be fair, after he went, because he went off to a Saudi team. And you guys are linked with that team, aren't you? So I thought you were going to nab him off us. I was like, you cheeky.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't blame you. I wouldn't blame you, because he would make your team. Man.
They did the whole Premier League team vote over multi-club national ownership because of that. Dan Ashworth, I always say Dan Ashworth whispered the words Ruben Neves, and everybody went ballistic on a.
It would be awkward. It would be awkward through FFP. It would be a bit of a strange one through FFP.
Only because Newcastle are doing it. Teams have been doing it for years. Like
Chelsea,
we
did it with a Swiss team. Tony Gomez.
Yeah.
One of our best centre backs is from a team like that. So that's probably why we signed the dotted line, because we didn't want to lose out on our Swedish. They've gone now, though. That Swiss team's gone, so we'll sign it. We'll sign it now.
We'll sign it. Cool. Big up to David. So hi to David as well. Thanks for subscribing to the channel yesterday. Big United fan as well, and I hope you're fine. He watched my stream yesterday with me and Alice Talks Footy. Check out the content as well.
She's amazing.
What do you think about Auschwitz? She was fantastic. Wow.
She's incredible. Really good content creator, writer, really good insights on Man United, all things Man United. Tries to be, even though she's a deep Man United fan, she tries to be objective on her team. So credit to her. She's really good.
She speaks facts as well, doesn't she?
She does, yeah.
And the thing is, right, I mean, if you look at social media, we're not allowed to criticise a lot of our players on social media for Newcastle. But when you've got people like Flex from United View, right, talk about Marcus Rashford, I tell you what, he speaks facts and truth as well. Alice is second to see him. But can you imagine if Alice was a Newcastle fan, she spoke the truth? I tell you one thing, people will probably jump on her as well, which is quite unfair, don't you think, Phil?
I don't know. In terms of, I say what I think. People will say what they think. People will disagree. I'm not too into the, you can't say this, you can't say that. I don't think I just say it. People are going to disagree. It's a healthy thing to do. It's always for the good of the team. I think as fans, I think any fan is like, if we disagree on something on the player or the manager or anything like that, it's my only objective, like I said, for Newcastle is to dominate the league and to be champions in Europe. So I don't care if your point of view is right and it gets us there, I'm with it. If it's wrong and it's me, that's it. So I just say what you think, what your opinion is, and if you're able to back up, which is important, to back up some facts, then you win people over that way, I think.
Yeah, that's very, very true. So you have to get the chemistry so right. It's as simple as that. But what a show last night. Check it on that as well. I hope Eddie replaces 36 for Elliot Anderson in midfield. 36 to me is carrying ankle injury, not himself. You know, but they're going to touch on have you done predictions? Not yet, John T. We will be at the end of the show, mate. So just hang on fire for that one, my guy. The fan base is huge, so there's always different opinions, which is healthy. Arthur, I totally agree, man. I totally agree as well. And let's go on to our injuries as well. Everyone's fit apart from Joel Luton's out for the season, and also Nick Pope is yet to come back here, maybe in a couple of months' time. So it's good when Nick Pope started training. It's good to see him back. So for me, I mean, Sean Longstaff was his son, Philip. You know what I mean? I shouldn't say I should have 36, but you know what it is, right? I mean, he hasn't been playing well, has he? But he's carrying an injury.
Who, Sean Longstaff? I didn't realize he was carrying an injury.
Yeah, apparently he does not look right at all whatsoever. He doesn't. Do you know what I mean? And
has that been confirmed?
He's not been confirmed. According to Alan, he said that he's got to. He's carrying an ankle injury, not himself, but Eddie still plays him.
I don't think Eddie's got much choice but to play him, and it's a difficult one because Eddie's having to. I know people say that he's not flexible, stays at it, but if, for instance, the Blackburn game in itself, Bruno is one of the few. His skill set is so valuable because it's so rare in terms of being able to take the ball back to goal, turn around. Drive, either progress the ball forward, or hold on to ball and pass it on. Sean Longstaff is not his forte. When we were flowing, when we had Joe Linton, when we had or whatnot, all Sean Longstaff had to do is his positional play, tackle and pass it to Bruno. I don't know if you guys saw the documentary. Sean Longstaff himself said, "I look good because all I have to do is get the ball and pass it to Bruno." That was Sean Longstaff's job, and he even said, "That's my job. Get the ball and pass it to Bruno, and I look good." And that was it. But with Joe Linton missing, and we know that, look, Miley is incredible, but his talent is beyond his physical ability and experience at the moment. So it's going to take him a while to catch up at the moment. With Joe Linton missing, with not having Tonali, having that enforcer there, Sean Longstaff is having to, where do we put Bruno? Either he goes further up because we see him more often, 8 and 10, playing alongside even Gordon at times and being effective there. But when he's up there, Eddie's even had to put Trippier inverted together with Longstaff to cover the back. And because Trippier's got some technical ability, but it's almost like it's still square pegs in round holes. And Trippier's, I think, himself isn't full of confidence at the moment. So Eddie's having to do a lot of makeshift stuff. So going back to Sean Longstaff, and just to end it there, is I always try to judge players according to what they can do. So I don't ask a fish to walk. Sean Longstaff himself said, like I said, I tackle and I give the ball to Bruno. At the moment, he's having to do a Bruno-esque type of job, which is if Bruno's up there, and I need to take the ball, I'm not as good as him taking back the ball back to goal. And teams know that. Gary O'Neill will know that, and he'll target him. I wouldn't be surprised if he does a trigger press in the middle rather than playing in the back, and he will target that. So Bruno would have to fall back and take on the ball that way. So I don't blame Sean Longstaff. As long as Sean Longstaff can tackle and pass the ball, that's what I'll judge him on. And that's where he's a bit shaky as well now at the moment. And maybe he is carrying an injury because he's not been as strong in a tackle as he has been before. So I take the point there, but in a different way.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, Philip. You're absolutely right, mate. Do you know what I mean? I can't really add anything to that as well, because at the end of the day, right? I mean, like you said, Sean's got to pass the ball to Bruno, and Bruno's got to do his things as well. But that is the thing. I would have answers ready to come in straight away. I pretty much doubt it. Organisations, including Newcastle, are going to get criticised from time to time. As long as it's fair, constructive, it's okay by me. Arthur, again, you're absolutely so right. Dan, can you tell the chat who do you think Newcastle should watch out for tomorrow? We know Neto's one of them. Who do you think you'll watch out for tomorrow?
You were just talking about your weaknesses in midfield, and I feel like that's one of our strengths. We've got Mario Lemina and Joe Gomez, and they are an absolute nightmare. They will not let you have the ball. And then as soon as we've lost it, you know, we've got some pace. We've actually got some pacey centre backs now in Cody Gomez. So the one weakness of our game was if you played a ball over the top, we've got too many slow defenders to get back. Like when we had Connor Cody and stuff, you could just play a ball over the top, and we were just in trouble. And Dawson's great because he'll sit back. Kilman will get forward, and Toti Gomez will get forward. And then we've got Semedo and Ait Nouri on the wings. They're going to be a problem as well because they peg it up their wings, and they're good in defence as well. So if we could play you out, out wide, or we could play the midfield game and win it up high. Like I said, it'd be a different game altogether if we had Cunha. Gary O'Neill plays a completely different way with it when we've got Cunha because he's a bloke that will just get you up the pitch.
Box to box.
Box.
Yeah, unbelievable work rate. And we haven't got a player like that can replace him really. The way he played his football when he got injured, we were playing Brentford. He got injured in that game, and we just lost the game because Gary O'Neill's tactic was 100%. Just play it into Cunha and he'll get us up the pitch. And we didn't have anyone who could do that. So I think the players to watch is our midfield in general because they're just nightmares. And probably Semedo and Ait Nouri.
Yeah, I have to agree. I mean, our midfield will have to be up to scratch. Otherwise, they're going to dominate us. Got some comments in the Insta comments as well. The lads don't seem fired up like last season. No fire. And that's from David P. Brown. Also, David said we must play Willock and bench Miley. He's good, but not really ready. And that is the comments from Davey. And we've got one of ACID GP88. We are off at the minute. Wolves always awkward. Thanks for your comments as well from the Instagram as well. Let's go on to Alan's comments. Lads, do you think Eddie has a plan during games like playing the 3-5 to help our mid?
He has a plan during games. Sorry, my charge is off here, but he has a plan during games. The problem is that he's having to, as I mentioned earlier, he has to fit square pegs into round holes, and it's difficult when he doesn't have the players that he has. He has Willock now, but Willock is just coming back from injury, and so he can only have him for a certain period of time. Obviously, Dan's just mentioned having Lamina, and I forgot the other gentleman's name. Really robust, strong midfielders. As I mentioned, I keep mentioning Miley. Miley's 17 years old. He's going to suffer against people like Lamina. No matter how talented he is, he's going to suffer against people like Lamina. Longstaff isn't as athletic and as strong at the moment. He's suffering. Bruno's having to do the job of 2 or 3 midfielders at the moment. If anyone look at his heat map, if anyone talks about heart and desire, and look, I know sometimes because Bruno's so skillful with the ball, we're used to him flicking the ball over people's heads. And so when he's not doing that, maybe we're thinking he's not playing well. Look at his heat maps. He's absolutely all over the pitch, but he is one man. And if you're Gary O'Neill, you'll be watching that and you'll be thinking, you either shut down Bruno or you create a game plan around Bruno. This is what we do when Bruno steps up into the field, and we get our guys and flood the midfield, and we just back ourselves against whoever plays there, which would probably be Miley and Longstaff. We'll back our boys against them, and so, or if Bruno sits back, we deal with it that way. And so Eddie Howe, like I said, he's getting Trippier to invert. He'll get even Gordon sometimes will try to drop in. Isak will try to drop in and trying to help the midfield is a real, and there's also a real lack of confidence. I don't think it's, for me, I didn't see lack of desire. I see the lack of confidence. Like with Trippier, the amount of times Gordon is making runs and Trippier, you can see he's thinking about it, but he's not doing it. And the reason why he's not doing it is that he's so scared that if the ball doesn't come off, we're going to get caught on the counter. We're so afraid of getting caught on the counter that we're trying to play the ball up slowly. But to play the ball up slowly, you need Bruno, but Bruno's up there. So you got Longstaff. And then you're having to ask Longstaff to do what Bruno does. And that's why you've seen a lot of jokes today, Longstaff with his lead foot, and da-da-da-da-da. But Longstaff's having to do a job that everyone knows he's not good at. So
you almost need like a player that does both in between.
That's where Willock fits in. But he's just coming back from injury, and we can only have him for so long. And you're right, exactly. We need the player that fits in the between. It's a bit of Willock. He's not as good as Bruno back to goal, but he can take the ball and he's our Cunha. He's our Cunha essentially. So I said that all that to say this. I think Howard was doing the best he can with what he has, and confidence is a big thing, like he was talking about today. And he has no choice. He has to win games. That's the only way you can get confidence back. As he's frozen. He did say if he freezes, that's what's going to happen.
That's cool.
Dan, I was watching. Because I did a preview show on my own channel, and I was looking at Wolves, and I realized that you guys have been a really balanced team. In terms of you've won 20. You've got 21 points from home. You've got 17 points away. You're like top 8 in terms of goals scored. You're 9th in terms of goals conceded, and obviously your 9th position now. Like, so it seems to me from reading those stats alone and seeing a few of like Wolves' games, you guys seem like a balanced side. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, but I still feel like we've got weaknesses. But every team has, haven't they? You know, but honestly, I put it all down to Gary O'Neill, really, to be honest. I put it all down to him just having belief in players that didn't get any credit or belief in, from Lopetegui, because, Julian Lopetegui did a great job keeping us up.
Yeah.
But then literally just left pre-season.
Yeah.
And just said out publicly to Spanish media that none of our players were good enough, and he didn't want to suffer the consequences of relegation.
Okay.
Now he's sat in Tetnall, which is in Wolverhampton. He still lives in Wolverhampton, and now he's watching Gary O'Neill.
Really?
Maybe lift an FA Cup. I can't wait. To be fair, I want to find out where he lives.
Sorry about that. Just got kicked out. Sorry.
Just be like,
that. No, all good, John. Yeah. Dan is just telling us about how he wants to find out where Julian Lopetegui lives. So give him a birthday cake. I don't know, but that was it.
Yeah.
Wow.
But in terms of how balanced we are, I feel like there's been games where we've struggled in one way, and I feel like the next game, Gary O'Neill's figured that out, and that's a weakness out of the way. But then there's always something else that creeps in. I think we're a bit sloppy passing. Like, I'll be honest, our passing can be really sloppy. So if you catch us, make a mistake, that could be your way through. I think if you capitalize on a mistake, that'll probably be a good way of winning the game for you, I reckon, to be fair. Yeah. Because we're not great at passing the ball. If you give us the ball, we will lose the game. If you keep the ball, we might win the game.
What's in your favor though is that Eddie Howe likes the ball, at least to score. He doesn't like to play counteract-attacking football. So exactly. That's not going to happen, unfortunately.
The proof's in the pudding as well. You look at the teams we've beat. They're teams that like the ball, like Man City.
Yes.
Brighton yesterday, they had the ball, 77% possession. But it didn't matter because it's what you do with the ball. We scored a goal and then just sat back, and they couldn't do anything the whole game. It just me, and I don't know. I feel like we're balanced because we've seen us make mistakes, and then Gary O'Neill has just gone, okay, that's not going to happen again, lads. Come on.
Yeah.
So I think it's all down to him. If I'm honest, that's
nice.
It's all down to him. Yeah.
Fair enough. And I lost the Insta live page as well, so I do apologize, guys. But please watch your videos. So if you've got a comment, then leave it in the StreamYard message as well. That'd be brilliant. Thank you. And would you not play Shaq DM? He has played it for Switzerland. No, I wouldn't. I would not play him. He could play there, but personally, I'd run him as a centre back.
I think playing DM internationally, where things generally seem to be a bit slower compared to the Premier League. You've got Eric Lamina and other players bearing down on you. you know, I think Shaw looks good on the ball because he is good on the ball, but he's obviously playing from centre back. Most centre, you know, when you're in DM, that's a whole different other issue. So I wouldn't personally do it.
No, cool stuff. And confidence is five to low sports. An early couple of goals in Newcastle, easier said than done.
Yes,
and it will be and they come flooding back. That's an offer.
Yes. That is true.
Very, very true. And Dan, why did Wolves struggle against a very poor Sheffield United team last Sunday?
Honestly,
they don't like the ball either, Sheffield United, isn't it? So...
exactly that. They gave us the ball. We couldn't break them down because they just sat back. But I'll be honest. I was there for that game. Sheffield United. They played a good game. You know, they're struggling down there and they're fighting. And that was us last season. You don't want to play a team that's fighting down there, man, because they'll throw everything at you. And if you've got players that are tiring, you know, we've got a small squad and we've got players that are tiring, they'll be all over you like a rash. And that's what they were like with us. They just wouldn't let us get the ball forward. So that's how we struggled. They played us at our own game. They knew that if they had the ball, they'd eventually make a mistake. We'd capitalise with pace. So they let us have it. And we just didn't know what to do with it. Just like, have it back. I don't want it.
The thing is, right, the Premier League's supposed to be the richest, the most exciting league in the world, right? But if you're going to play that sort of style, giving the ball away, giving the ball back, defense against the attack, it's not going to be exciting because it's going to be one team's going to be in it.
The thing is, that's what I was saying at the start of the game, because I think you guys said that, you know, you're probably going to predict that we just go there and counter attack, but we've also proven that we can win the ball really close to the opposition's goal up high, and then a couple of passes. You know, we've got some really clever tactical players. Tommy Doyle is a player that we might play tomorrow because of some game time. I don't know if you've seen Tommy Doyle around. We've got him on loan from Man City. But he's only 5.5 million to buy, and he's an absolute bargain because he was part of the deal for Matheus Nunes. And I've seen him play. He played yesterday, and he was just unreal player. Really, really, really good. So he might be a player that either Gary O'Neill starts or is someone on the bench, because, like I say, that's another part of our game that I don't think a lot of people are aware of. That we've got players that can pick a pass. So that might be something that Gary O'Neill decides to do instead.
Right.
Yeah. Wow. Interesting. Very interesting. Because I've got to be honest, I never heard of this guy, but I've heard he's really, really good. And let's hope you buy him if that's the case. If he's that good,
5.5 million is a bargain, mate, honestly.
You can't. But watch out for Man City. They ask for a buyback clause as well, so be careful.
No, we've got him. We've got him. 100%.
Oh, you got him.
You got him.
Yeah. What I'm saying is that Man City will probably insert a 5 point probably ask for a buyback clause that they've done with Iheanacho for Leicester. They've done with Cole Palmer as well. So that's true on that, but I'm sure they will. Dan, what are the Wolves' weaknesses? Because I'm sure Eddie would love to know. I think it's your defense because you're quite slow. Kilman, I like Kilman. I like him. He's a good defender.
I think we've got some defenders that are quite pacey though. It's weird because we saw the game Wednesday, and we played a different backline. Santi Bueno played. He was a Uruguayan international, and he's quick, man. So if we start to struggle with the ball over the top, him and Toti Gomez, they're very fast. Toti Gomez almost plays like a left defensive, like a winger almost. It's weird. So I think Wolves definitely have weaknesses. We were saying this before. I think that the main one is once we've got the ball, sometimes it's picking that pass and unlocking a defense. So, but I just don't think that's going to be the game tomorrow. I feel like you're going to have the ball, so I don't think that's going to be a way to beat Wolves. To be honest, we're good in the air as well, very good in the air. So balls into the box aren't going to help very much.
Nah, well, you got Kilman 6'5". You got Craig Dawson 6'2". Two big defenders as well.
I think as well, like I said earlier, just before you lost connection, just we're awful passers most of the time. We'll always have a part in the game where we just can't pass the ball. So if that happens and we lose the ball, that's definitely going to be a weakness for us, for sure.
Fair enough. Cool stuff. Thanks for that, Alan. Good question there. Han He Chang is out tomorrow. Do you think it'd be a big miss? I personally really rate him. That's from Christopher. Good player.
Well, yes, but he went to the Asia Cup, and before he went to the Asia Cup, he was a top goal scorer, and he was just absolutely flying. He was scoring every game. But he came back from the Asia Cup, and he hasn't been the same player. I think he was carrying an injury, and obviously that's been proven now because he went off Wednesday. So yes, it's a big miss, but I feel like I said earlier, if sometimes with Gary O'Neill's Wolves, if a player goes out, there's always someone who's going to do the job. So I'm not too concerned, to be fair. He does always score against you guys, though. Which is nice.
He does.
So maybe that's a bad omen, isn't it?
I hope so.
We need a points badly. We haven't won the league, Phil, since December the 13th against Fulham, and that is that's nearly 3 months without winning at home. That's unheard of under Eddie Howe, and that needs to be fixed up because we've got some good games coming up soon. We got to play teams like Brighton, Tottenham home, Everton at home, Sheffield United at home, and we got some good teams to play. So let's hope that we get it sorted out very, very quick. Who's going down, lads? I think the fees at the bottom of the minute, in my opinion, John.
I agree.
But to win the league, Man City all day long. Fee 2. Phil's getting this position in early. Fee 2 to Newcastle. Big up to Phil. Big up to Ian as well. Mate, I still got to go back on the diet. I've got to lose half a stone and I'll be fine. But thank you for the comments, Ian. I really appreciate that, man. I hope you're having a good evening, man. This goes down, depends on the far Everton situations develop and an example.
True, yeah.
And the kind of chaos that governs the Premier League. I tell you what, the Premier League are totally messed up. They really messed up if this FFP. Because let's see what happens to Man City. That's another time. Dan, name the 3 Newcastle players you take at Wolves.
Bruno's obviously one of them, isn't it? Anthony Gordon. I've always rated him. We wanted Sven Botman, so I'm still salty about the fact that you got him off us. So Sven Botman's a good player. Definitely someone that would fit into the model of Wolves, big centre half. But yeah, I mean, there's a host of players that I'd take there, to be honest. Like Isak for us now would be unreal because we need a number 9 like yesterday. It's bad. We actually sold. We put two of our number 9s on loan. Sasha Klajdzic gets injured. He's out for the rest of the season. And then a young Fabio Silva, who's doing okay in Scotland, but who isn't, you know.
With that team, which I'm not going to mention.
He's easily.
Nah.
So, yeah, I mean, there's a host, but if I've got to pick one, I'd probably say Isak.
Cool stuff. Phil, which 3 Wolves players would you take?
Neto, Lemina, and at this rate, I like a goalkeeper. I forgot his name. I really, really like him. I think he's underrated. Decent, more than decent shot stopper. Very good on the ball. To me, kind of, from the way you tell me, but from what I can see, how the defenders react to him, they seem to have a lot of confidence in him.
So Jose Sarr is an absolutely world-class shot stopper, but with his feet, he is awful.
I must have got him good games.
Bambi has a better touch, and he can literally not kick a ball. He literally has to rely on a centre half to kick a ball out long. So no, you don't want it. You don't want it. And I'm not just saying that so you take him off us, but I literally.
Oh man, Josie Sarr, I do like Josie Sarr. He's like you say, he's a quality
Shot
keeper.
stopping is amazing. Like
outstanding.
Reaction speed's incredible, but his distribution is probably one of the worst in the league for distribution. I don't know if there's a stat for it, but when I'm watching him, every time he gets the ball to his feet, everyone's going in Molyneux because it just looks so uncomfortable with his feet.
I think Eddie Howe's going to target that. There's your weakness.
There you go.
Anthony Gordon, there's your chance, mate. There's your chance.
To be fair, I never thought about that, but that is genuinely a thing because we play at the back as well, and we play at the back, and I'm telling you, sometimes my hands in like right by my face, trying not to look like I'm watching a horror movie.
Have you kind of conceded a lot of goals though from unforced areas, like from forced areas, people pressing?
Well, luckily, no, but I think that's more reliant on the way our defenders can, get rid of it or pass it out to a midfielder. Because we've got, like I said, we can pass it around the back, but if you're relying on Sarr,
right,
I don't know what game it was, but recently he looked like a break dancer because he came out and he started spinning around the ball trying to stop it from getting to the player. I'm like, what are you doing, bro? Just kick it long. What are you?
I mean, he's spinning around like Kylie Minogue.
Literally, mate.
I love that one. Exactly.
Probably just about as good on the ball as well as Kylie Minogue.
Yeah.
But if Kylie Minogue played up top, she's still spinning a lot around up front and still banging the goals in. But there you go. Even Taylor Swift to do the job and all. But there you go. So we've got another couple more minutes to go, guys, and we think we go through. We're going to go for the team lineups. We're tipped team lineups. For me, I'll say the back in goal: Trippier, Shah, Botman, and Burton. The midfield three be 36, Bruno G, Marley, and Almiron, Isak, and Gordon. I tell you what, I'll probably tweak a few changes there, Phil.
Yes, the Blackburn selection threw me off a little bit in terms of Sven Botman. Obviously, it'll be the back in goal. I think is he going to go with Botman? All right, let's do it. I'll say Burn will be left back. Botman will be left centre back. Right centre back will be who's our right centre back? I forgot the guys now. Botman
Fabian
Shah. Sorry. Right back will be Trippier. I think Willock will be left. Midfield with Bruno, and he'll be tempted to put Miley instead of Longstaff, but I think he'll go with Longstaff. I think he'll put Gordon on the left, Isak through the middle. I think he'll stick with Almiron on the Almiron or Murphy. I'll go with Almiron because he got the assist and he looked well up for it. So I think he'll go with Almiron on the right.
Cool stuff. And for Wolves, we reckon it's going to be Sangor, Kilman, Dawson, Totti, Semedo, Lemina, Gomez, Al-Nouri, Bellegarde, Sarabia. We haven't spoken about Sarabia, by the way, and Neto. What's Sarabia? What do you think of him as a player? I think he's really good.
Sarabia is good. I always say that he's almost like a midfielder that you play on the wing because he's not fast, but he's technically really good. So if you need a wing unlocking, like if you've got like a really tricky
Grealish, he's like a Grealish.
Yeah, he's really good actually. Underrated, to be fair, even from the Wolves fans. I think he's starting to show, why we got him really. No, I'm not going tomorrow. I wish. I really want to go. I really want to go to St. James. I've not actually gone there before, but it's a great stadium. It's huge, isn't it?
You'll love it. But going up to the gods, right to the gods, if you decide to go, but you need binoculars as well. Let's be real. But you know what? I'll be there many a time, and I'll be doing me vlogs tomorrow. So I can't be doing another vlogs as well. So as a YouTuber, it's good fun. The guy sitting next to, he loves us doing it as well. He thinks I'm funny, and the guy who sits in front of us, he thinks I'm a bit. He puts us right. So there you go. Let's move on to the comments again. And where am I to? Adam's got a good comment there. If I can find Adam's comments. It's great to see Newcastle and Wolves challenging the so-called top 6. They don't like it. Absolutely. Yeah. Excuse me. Are you going tomorrow, Dan? You're not going. And Arthur wants some Newcastle win 5-0 against Wolves at home 1976. At home, Wolves scored first, but if memory serves me right, Alan Gowling got a hat-trick. I can remember that.
Woo.
Good.
I hope it's not like that tomorrow.
I don't think it'd be 5s. I do it'd be 5s tomorrow. It would definitely not be 5s. But you never know. And that's football for you. So, yeah. So let's go for a score prediction. I'm going to start with you, Dan, because you are the guest. Newcastle against Wolves. What do you think the score is going to be tomorrow? It's going to be tough.
Oh, mate. It's a game that suits Wolves in a way. You know, we've seen us play teams that have the ball, especially away, in this kit as well. That's why I'm wearing it. Good luck. I don't know, man. I mean, the amount of draws that I've seen us have, the amount of draws that Newcastle and Wolves have had, and at one point it was 0-0, or it was just 0-0 all the time, and it was the most boring like chess match ever. But
remember that.
My heart says 2-1 Wolves, but my head says it's probably going to be like 2-2 or something.
Fair enough. Let's go for the comments before we get my guy Phil in. Neversone's best view. St. James says, Taught him if you need binos. The only advice required, take a deep breath before you start stepping. I totally agree, Christopher. Wow, I've been at level 7 before, and I tell you what, wow, tough. What about Gordon on the right and Barnes on the left? That's a good shout, Aaron Ashley. That's a very good shout. Because Harvey Barnes these games.
I like Barnes, man. That's a player I forgot about. That's going to be, that's a good player. That Harvey Barnes.
He could start, but I think how sort of inferred today from the press conference that he's obviously still getting himself back to fitness, and there might be a little bit of also confidence for him. But he did, you know, again, press conferences are there for managers to lie politely. So we'll just see how it goes, really.
Yeah, I totally agree, because Eddie Dunn's ain't going to tell you the truth. He keeps his card close to his chest. Do you know what I mean? I mean, there's one manager, Cal Carrema Grounds through Ness. It tells you anything and anything. When you get a player linked to a club, he tells you, do you know if it's true or not. Yeah. And then he just puts it all in the bed. I don't like him, but at least he's being honest. And that is the thing. Even Bob Robson, he tells you the truth as well. And big up to Luca Barrow, big gooner. I still got her about last week, by the way. I told him to go easy on us. I need gyms. And Graham Gowland, big up to you. I'm great. I hope you're well too, mate. Let's go on to Alan. Remember the games quite well, but sometimes some of the score as fair dues. Good for you. 2-1 to West Brom against Coventry. Phil, give us your score prediction, my guy, and must win tomorrow. We got to win.
We have to win. I did do a game preview on my channel. I have to stick to that scoreline. I do think, and that's for anybody that's going to the game, I think the main issue for me watching Newcastle against Blackburn, you can do all the tactics in the world and players and stuff like that, which are important. I think the main issue for Newcastle is around confidence. And those players are so scared to the counter-attack. It's unbelievable. I think they'll probably pay special attention to Neto and whoever is the guy who's likely to release the ball to Neto, Sarabia or anybody else.
Yeah.
I saw Howard doing a little bit of gamesmanship in the press conference where he said, Wolves are a great counter-attacking side. They're also a bit fluid as well. So I think he's kind of challenging Gary O'Neill, you know, in terms of what he wants to do. Look, we've got an attack of a top 6 side. We've got a defense of a bottom half side. And I think that may cost us unless we fix up a little bit. I think it'll be a 2-2. I think it'll be a 2-2.
Cool stuff. Where is game a game where you don't have to win? I think you've got to get into Europe. You've got to go on a mad run here. You've got to go on a mad run. But as things stands in a minute, I just don't feel capable of doing it just yet. Should get you 3 points on post-match. That's in JT. Yeah, I hope we get the 3 points as well.
Absolutely.
Must be. I haven't. Lauren's not on the channel, but she follows Newcastle, loves football in general as well. She's a football fan as well, Luca. And do follow, subscribe to Luca AFC on his Arsenal podcast as well. So passionate, and he's Arteta out as well. I've been on Arsenal channel the other day with Jez, Katie Ken, Northside, and Matty Savanguna, and they were absolutely fantastic. They looked after us well, but they apologised because they beat us 4-1. But there you go. I'm gonna go. Exactly. Great guys, they're amazing guys. And I can go on the channels anytime I want to, which is good. And yeah, I'm gonna go. It's gonna be competitive goals. I think the midfield between the defensive mid Warriors as well. I think he's just got to get the service quickly. And I like to see Harvey Barnes on the left, Gordon on the right. And Joe Willock, for me, has got to start somewhere. For me, it'd be Bruno, Joe Willock, and I'm not sure I should play Mali tomorrow because the reason being, because like you said earlier, that he could get swallowed up by Lamina and also João Gomez as well. I mean, it looks like 36. It looks like, go on, Dan.
He was rested. I mean, he was rested for the Blackburn game. Maybe it might be that he starts. He might have Willock, Miley, or Bruno in the middle. He might do it that way. It's difficult to say at this page.
Yeah, I think he'll play 36 tomorrow. But there
Who's
you go.
What, Longstaff?
Yeah.
You don't have to say Longstaff.
No, I'll just call him 36. I mean, look, I like Longstaff. I really do.
Yeah.
But, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, is he going to take us? Do you think he's going to take us to the next level, though? Do you think he's going to take us to the next level?
I don't know, but I don't know why. Just call him Sean. I'll call him. I would still call him Sean.
You call him Longstaff. It's like there's a channel on the channel. I mean, my guy Lee Gunner and yes, they just say 29 because they don't like Kai Havertz. So I think Sean.
He doesn't like. From what I've seen and heard him say, he doesn't like Kai Havertz. I don't think he likes the signing of Kai Havertz. Of all the money they could have spent it somewhere else. But
yeah, Tony.
At the moment, it seems to be working out. Whereas Longstaff is our Newcastle born academy player. He's playing. I'm not asking Longstaff to be Erdegaard or De Bruyne. Just be the best of what you do, tackling and showing drive for the team. So I've got no complaints about that when it comes to him, to be honest.
Yeah. Fair dues. But if he does play, Phil, I'll always back the players. You know me, I'll back any players. You know that, and I wouldn't criticise anyone at all. Yeah. So, and that's
who's defending against Neto anyway? Who's on that side?
Dan Burn. It'll be but we'll have Willock on that side as well. So Willock's got a big job. He'll be there for the first 60 minutes. So
I'll tell you what I think might happen.
Okay, he's got chest now. He just
I think Gary O'Neill has thought, you know what, we've got to get at them early doors. And I think Neto and Ait Nouri will get up on that side and make Dan Burns' day dreadful, because when those two link up, it's like Barcelona, mate. I don't know if you've seen much footage of Ait Nouri. But
yes, very good, exceptional. We were looking at him actually. He's an exceptional
so good, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Probably one of the best left. It got to be one of the best left backs now, surely. He's so good.
But then he might look at our bench and say, "Okay, we might have a fast start, but it might be a very hard finish." Because if you don't get an outcome on the other end and we get back on you with Longstaff driving back
I'll take a point. I will take a point now. Give us a point now and let us be done with it. We'll both get into Europe. You know what I mean? I'll take the Conference League of Europa, mate. I don't care. You take the other one, but we don't care as Wolves fans, mate. We're just happy to be where we are.
Fair play.
Genuinely.
Fair play. Let's go on. Let's go for the comms. 32 in the room. Thank you very much for the 33 people watching the show live on Insta, X, and also on Twitter. Thanks so much indeed. No Anson has to play. I to Jonathan will be good. I'll come up around about 2 o'clock. So should be there about 2 o'clock there. Do me intro as well before I go to the match as well. So it's tomorrow, my guy. If you do see us. Longy definitely start. Howard loves him. Personally, a bottom half prem midfielder. That's from Christopher. One of the best away performances from an away player was Steve Bull, scored 4 goals against Newcastle on New Year's Day. Outstanding on the day. Oh, Steve Bull, what a player.
What a bloke.
Big up to Jimmy Owens from America. Thank you so much for your kind donation, the third of the evening. And you can always leave a comment as well, Jimmy, you can if you want to, mate. So I really appreciate that. But thank you so much for doing the kind donation too. Anderson's not really match fit. That's an Arthur B. Yeah. Newcastle's biggest sign right now will be confidence. All very capable players, but looked very low on confidence as well.
We're going to need our fans. That's the main thing. I know, because for anybody going, as I was going to say, look, as a fan, I don't want anyone telling me what to do when I'm at a game, and I get it. All I can do is just encourage folks and say, look, you might see some insane stuff in that game. You might see Longstaff getting caught while he's trying to do the longest turn ever. You might see some insane stuff. And I'm not saying be delusional, but the players are really going to need you. From what I've seen in the Blackburn game, they're very, very aware that look, we're not up to par here. We're very, very vulnerable. Neto's there, Nori's there. We could get caught. I can visibly see it. Back the guy. If you're there, I know people are going to be coming there to back the guys. I can only encourage folks, just back the guys, man. And you never know what could happen.
Fact, you've got to back the fans. You've got to back the players as well. Do you know what I mean? Because they need all our support as long. Do you know what I mean? But we are really good fans, and Wolves fans are really good fans as well.
They are. They're amazing.
They are fantastic fans. Don't disrespect Dan. Anderson could play as a DM is strong enough. I like it, Anderson.
And he can take it back to goal. He can.
Exactly. Yeah. Fact. Dan Burn with a great of his hand. Thank you, John. Dan Burn had a 90-second just for
That reminded me of Fabian. That reminded me. Do you remember Fabian Scher's handball against Blackburn? They didn't get booked for or anything against. Did you remember?
I did.
Crazy. Thank goodness there's no VAR, because my days, that was insane.
Handle in the area. He's a lucky lad.
I'm not dissing Dan Burn, by the way. He's a great player.
No,
is he gonna win in a race with Neto?
No, as long as Dan Burn does what he does, which is head of the ball away, and
he's fantastic
and be strong. That's why I judge him on. We said we don't like Dan Burn, but look what happened against Arsenal. We lost we conceded 2 goals to set pieces.
Yeah,
I don't think Gabriel has a chance against Dan Burn in the air. But this is what Eddie Howe tried to warn us against, I suppose.
Exactly that. So we wish Dan Burn best of luck tomorrow. And Amy, we're just going to close the show, babe. But thank you very much for saying hello to us. She's lovely. If you see her on social media, you know what I mean. Just go on there, and she is called Amy as well. So do check out on Twitter as well. She is absolutely funny and a character as well. But we love her lots. And its defense is subpar. Actually, talk about Dan Burn. Thank you, Alan, and thank you so much as well. We're going to wrap up the show there, and I was thinking my prediction, didn't I? I said there'd be goals. I'm going to say it's going to be a crazy game, but we are going to concede because we haven't got a good defense. But
go with your heart, Joe. Go with your heart.
You know what? I've got to be positive now. I've got to be positive, man. I mean, look, I think it's going to be 3-2 to Newcastle, and I think you're going to get a late goal, and
we're going to be tearing off our shirts. We're going to be crying tears.
Yes.
Things, mate. That's the thing we want to see.
Yes. And 27 people in the room as well watching as well. Fantastic. Thank you, Alan again. I appreciate that. Love you lot, Amy, as well. I really appreciate that. Dan Burn has taught in real life indeed. And good night to Arthur B. So there you go. And evening to Amy as well from Alan. And high blood pressure tomorrow. Do you know what I'm up there? I'm flogging, so I'll go a long way. So that's it. So you're going to have to show there because I've got to get up early in the morning at 6 o'clock. And Dan, did you enjoy coming on my show tonight, man?
Yeah, lovely, man. Thank you very much for having me. I know I'm a brand new at this and everything, but I like to say it. Just thanks very much for having me on, guys.
Fantastic. And where can we find you on your socials? Because you're new to the channel. And you're doing really well. I mean, it's a beginner, and you know what? You just got to keep going, man. Just be consistent, and you'll be fine. Tell us where we can find you, man.
So my YouTube channel's in the pack where I just do all things Wolves. But my Instagram is Dan Lamb WWFC at Dan
Fan-
Lamb WWFC.
Big up. Well, I'm gonna put the title. I'm gonna put the link in the title. I forgot to put it on there. And we'll get people to follow you on social media as well.
Cheers, boys.
Philip, where can you find you, man?
I was going to say, if there's one thing I like about Wolves is the attire. You got the signature name, WWFC. You got the Wolves. You got the hats, golden black hats. It's a fantastic. Guys, you can find me on Toon Tactics TV, on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram. I'm always sending out videos, giving updates on doing updates, match previews, and I'm doing mid-week previews as well. The last one I talked about Eddie Howe and whether we're going to get into Europe. So guys, do tune in. It would be great to have you guys to share your comments, like, and subscribe.
Fantastic stuff. And do subscribe to Toon Tactics TV. He's fantastic and he likes to have fun as well. And fantastic. And Dan and Toon. Oh my God, guess on this. I'm going to any second now. And I'll go with you guys backstage for 30 seconds after the show. And guys, if you like to feel like what you watch, I'll be at St. James's Park tomorrow. And if you are going to the match, come and find us. I'll try and get a quick interview from your podcast as well. So if you like the channel, like what watch, like, subscribe, and please do go to the Arsenal 4 Newcastle 1 and stick a like on that one as well, because that is flying off the flipping charts. Over 35k views, and not only that, 165 new subscribers. My
Fantastic.
God, unbelievable!
Awesome.
But that is just in 5 years. I still can't believe it. But hey ho. But listen, thanks to the chat as well. Have a good weekend. We'll decide to do. And as always, like, subscribe. As always.